Good evening, everypony, and welcome to Commentary as Magic's stream on today, Sunday, August 26th, 2018. I am, as always, Grandpaws.
And RCAT. Surprisingly, I'm not angry or dismissing resources right now.
But you have the option to dismiss those resources, right?
But I do, because I packed 3.
Okay. Just checking. Good job. You can also banish them. That is also acceptable.
Or bounce them to hand.
Or whatever. We are glad to be here today, going back in time yet again to talk about a format that has kind of fallen out of style recently, but definitely had some new life breathed into it with the updated ban lists. That's right, we're talking about Sequestria and Beyond Pauper.
Woohoo!
No, that is a lie. You can.
Yes,
it's
you
just
can.
gonna be entry.
That's okay, it still works.
It can still be played.
It's not going to be a very good deck, but it can do it. Anyway.
Yeah.
We are here today to talk about Harmony and 63 reasons to play it. Number 8 will shock you.
Apparently, the only thing holding Sim back from just going full clickbait was Bugle, who is absent on his leave for a while. So, Bugle, thank you for letting us not descend to BuzzFeed territory, but I'm sorry, we're going to have to disgrace our name now.
Commentary as Magic's not associated with BuzzFeed Incorporated. Talk to your doctor about
if BuzzFeed Incorporated is right for you. Spoilers, it's not.
All right. Hold on. I gotta wait. No, never mind.
No, you sure? You don't want to take a crack at it?
No, later. I got one, but not right now.
Okay, that's fair. Just checking. Just want to be sure.
Not yet. For later. It's so good, but for later.
All right. Well, Harmony has definitely been around for a while. It is the original constructed format, once constructed formats were defined by the comprehensive rules, and for the longest time it was the only constructed format to be featured at top level events.
By the floor rules, not the core game rules.
Correct. By the floor rules. And since every card or every set was legal in Harmony, a lot of the cards that were very powerful at the beginning of Harmony remained powerful throughout most of its lifespan, and many continue to do so. And that's great, because it means that if you played back then, a lot of those cards are still going to be valuable and you can always go back and revisit them. But it's also kind of unfortunate, because it means that if you didn't get those cards, they can be somewhat difficult to obtain, or you may not even know they exist, and Harmony can feel a little stale.
And in some cases, you may not know the history behind them.
Correct. Well, we're here to fix all that. First off, F-Stop is banned, so Harmony is a completely different format. I don't know how many times we can say this, but it still remains true. When Toolbox Control has to rapidly change, or dramatically change at least, then the format's going to warp. And beyond that, we have a new set, and we haven't really had a lot of major Harmony events over the last year since Sequestria released. We've had a couple. BabsCon, Everfree, Heiko #1. Surprise, surprise, AJ Farm is still strong.
What?
But there's... I know, right? But there's so much more to Harmony than just AJ Farm. So, Aura, what have we done to kind of draw people into the Harmony format?
Well, what we did is we went through the cards that are only legal in Harmony that are not legal in Core. And we've picked, although the title says 63, we've actually picked 64 of them, one extra for a bonus, that we feel are the most significant and impactful cards only available in Harmony.
Right, these are things that Core wishes it could have.
Yes, they are things that Core does not have an equivalent for. Cards that are functionally unique and not available in Core, for example.
So we're going to try and go through a decent chunk of these. We're not going to hit all 64 today. This is going to be a 2-part stream.
Because as is usual, we cannot give the full list on one page because we need to make you click, second page so that we can show you more ads.
Right, correct.
No, it's like 3 to 5 cards per page.
With
And
ads
then-
in between them, and then an
Correct.
ad when you go to the next page, and then, yes, exactly.
And then an interstitial when you get to page 3 that you have to click somewhere to dismiss it, right?
Yep.
In the grandest tradition of BuzzFeed.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes today, but I think this is going to be fun for those of you who maybe haven't played Harmony in a while, or maybe have never played Harmony because it's just been too much of a bear to dive into. And this will give you some hints at some of the madness you might be missing.
Missing, quote unquote.
Missing in, yes, giant air quotes.
And chat, feel free to throw in your comments about these cards as well.
Needs more infinite recursion.
Always needs more infinite recursion.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
So with that, let's get started here. Cheese, what is the first card we will be talking about today?
Bubbly Mare. No, her name's Derpy. Just accept it. But, this was part of the set of,
Crystal
a
Games.
counter. Well, yes, but the counter mains from Crystal Games.
Which is all the
Where-
mains from Crystal Games.
Yes, where they're pretty terrible, but except for Bubbly Mare. But
Well,
And Spike. Spike's okay.
I
okay,
don't
to
even
be-
know what he does.
he makes Dragon Express works.
Oh,
but-
that's Spike. Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing here is most of these mains are not well regarded. Their flip conditions are not great. The effects that you get off of them once they're flipped also not great.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
totally as hard to flip Bubbly Mare as it is to flip DJ.
Right. The reason that Bubbly Mare is included here is because the effect on her boosted side is just that obnoxious and difficult to deal with.
Yeah, let's take a peek at it.
We have the boosted side.
Opponents can't play more than one card of each type per turn. That's
Well,
pretty
that's a bit of a
huge
restriction.
problem there.
Oh, you're playing friend-based aggro? Well, it's going to be a lot harder for you to get a lot of value out of those cost-efficient friends, since you can
Yes.
only play one.
I
It's
play
going to be
Angel
a-
Wings.
Darn shame if you were to, because
Oh,
you can't play another friend this turn.
Yes, Godot also brings up the point that she is in the same color as backup vocals, which does allow her to flip easier. And this is true. Her flip condition is also not the worst among the counter mains. Yes, you do need to confront problems 5 times, but you don't have to confront them with her.
Yeah, she doesn't have to be there. I would basically never want to move this main until after she's flipped. Maybe.
Right.
Right.
So, Enterplay, if you're watching, this is how you do confront to flip mains. Just lower the counter threshold a little bit.
Yeah, I'm thinking 1.
When you confront a problem.
Yeah, seems good.
Sure. So yes, her boosted effect is very unique and is quite
Was the
interesting.
bane of combo, except for wait, nobody played her, so it didn't matter.
I played her once.
I know. I remember
I know. I know.
that. 2015?
Should have been friend animals.
Yeah.
It is
Speaking of which, not yet, but soon.
soon.
Soon. Let's go to the next one.
Transparent Luna.
So this is, from some perspectives, the ancestor of the current Tempest Shadow into Grubber power opening that's very, very prevalent in, well, actually all formats at this point. The one major difference with this is it can be slower. And it usually is because it's very hard to come up with a set of plays on turn 1 that can let you flip Luna. However, this hurts.
And quite easy to go off turn 2 here.
Oh yeah. It also, of course, is part of my favorite turn 1 play in the game, which is starting with Trading Traditions and running a Sunset Shimmer Clever Girl. And then daring your opponent to play a card.
You get one card, then half your hand goes away.
It's just about the only major advantage Tempest and Grubber has over this. That you can strike before your opponent even gets a chance to do anything.
Right. Now, Godot brings up Apple Bloom Remarkable, and that's true. Apple Bloom Remarkable would allow you to activate this on turn 1, assuming you're going first.
Which is pretty devastating.
So there are actually a number of ways that this can end up working quite well. What's even more interesting is this card had to be changed slightly with the text on the boosted side.
Oh dear. That could have been silly.
Because technically this would have triggered an individual number of times based on each card being discarded, because those are all individual instances.
I flip Nightmare Moon, discard my hand, pay 8 AT.
So...
And repeatedly dismiss everything, or discard everything in your... Oh no, it's banish even.
Yeah,
yes.
Banish your hand.
It's banish.
Go ahead and banish your entire hand, thanks.
Yeah.
Good thing it doesn't work that way.
Yep, it is a good thing.
Yep.
But definitely a strong contender for the main of choice for Harmony Chaos Control. Alright, let's take a look at the next one.
She does nothing on her boosted side, but yes. DJ!
What is...
Everyone loves DJ.
And no one is surprised to see her show up.
Gasp.
I hear draw wins games. Confirmed deny.
So we have draw in core, and we have pretty easy to flip mains.
You don't have draw and easy to flip mains like this though.
But like putting an ability on a main is totally different than putting an ability on a friend.
Correct.
Because
Or on any other type of card, resource, event, doesn't matter.
Yeah, because you can't mains can't leave play. So so draw 3 cards during your turn, and then you can keep drawing, and then you can actually still keep confronting with her if you happen to have that many friends or 3 friends, which is quite a lot. But it actually does. This ability does actually end up mattering.
It's surprising how often it actually triggers.
Yeah, and how often I forget about it.
It's what has kind of allowed DJ to split her focus between control and aggro.
Yeah.
But if there's one main that's kind of defined Harmony, it's probably DJ.
Yep. I would absolutely agree.
All right, let's take a look at our last Harmony exclusive main that we feel brings something really unique.
Friend animals. Basically what this main is a yellow main with Swift.
More or less? I mean,
it's a yellow main with Swift that also has 4 power.
Yeah, 4 power and flips for generally 1 or 2.
And it's better than Swift because it gets around movement tax.
Yes, because it's not a main phase movement.
Correct.
But yeah, so you pay 3, but 1 less for each critter you control. That's actually... no, we actually did see other pay to flip mains before Sequestria. But then flip side, Caretaker, and pay 1 to move to problem as one of your critter friends there. This main was amazing back in Candlelight Nights, and it's actually still good.
Yes, despite all else, it's still one of the better yellow mains.
If yellow aggro had more support, I think that this would be the main. But it's just the rest of the card base really isn't there.
Yeah, would still be probably one of the better, or possibly even best in some cases, mains 8 sets later.
Yep.
That's some staying power.
There is a ton of value on this main.
versus the Premier mains, which, short of Twilight's brief resurrection,
That thing that we don't talk about.
Yes.
they've been gone quite a while.
Premier Flutters is not terrible, but her flip condition is much harder, and her boosted sides ability is less useful for confronting.
Yeah.
Generally, if you're running yellow aggro, you're going to want to have your main at a problem anyway, simply because yellow doesn't generally have a lot of big bodies, so the more efficient you can make your plays or movements, the better. And so only being able to move her up there during a face-off is less useful than just being able to move her up there for half the cost.
Right. It's moving a single critter friend during a face-off, which in the grand scheme of things is not that impactful.
Especially back
Right.
then when most critters were one
Small.
power.
Yeah. I mean, you could do Falcon Chains.
Mhm.
You could, yeah. At this point, well, I suppose at this point you could also put a bee suit on something, but that's a different story.
And then have them infinitely bounce around it.
Oops.
Have Rainbow Shine do one thing wrong.
Hey now.
So on to some friends. We've got Cloud Chaser from Premier, and we still have not seen this ability on entry. We have variations of this ability.
Or in some cases, cards that just straight up give you an action token, but
Cough, cough, Factory Jack, cough.
Yeah,
cough.
but not on
But-
entry.
Yeah, it's not something that you can just randomly slam into a deck that likes playing friends and expect it to work. This card, it's blue. It's not technically blue because you can just put it in whatever you want.
Yeah, like back in Premier and even in Carolina Knights, basically every deck ran this unless you really cared about your flip average or it didn't help, like for combo.
Right. Well, even Pile ran this.
Yeah, Pile ran it, but because it helped the combo, because you
Correct.
care so much about turn over turn AT efficiency.
Right.
Right.
But this effect was not limited to aggro decks, nor was it limited to blue aggro decks.
Yeah, like Control would run this, like your one power.
If it
friend
wasn't
in Control.
Troublemaker. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd look at this and just go, why, yes, I would like to pay one less AT per each of this per friend every turn. And when you have a limited card pool in early Premier, you absolutely slam this in there. 3 of, doesn't matter what color.
There's a reason this card was
Like 25 or 30.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
As a rare, almost as expensive as some of the ultra rares.
More expensive than some.
And then that promo.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that promo.
I still don't have any.
Really?
Really.
Wow.
I had to judge. I had to judge that event.
Okay.
Anyway, next friend.
Unblinking.
Okay, so I got, here's my thing. I got this one.
You got your thing.
All right. So you're sitting there looking at this going, but Penny's banned, so this is a useless card because you can't Penny Hooves. Well, I've got some news for you. Control player discovers this one weird trick. Aggro players hate them. You kick one of these into your discard and then go find a Dr. Hooves time loop because it just says a Dr. Hooves card.
Yeah. This card was always interesting as a just like a fun card really until the Penny Hooves thing, as just like find any card named Hooves. Oh, okay.
And you kept getting a card named Dr. Hooves in every set that came out.
Yeah.
At least the first 3. I think the first 4.
We're still getting them.
First 5. I don't think... Did we have one in High Magic? Yes, we did. We had one in
Probably.
High Magic. We had one in Marks and Time.
There's a few of them.
Yeah, there's at least 7. I think
But-
there's 8, actually.
We've had multiple in a single set.
Mhm.
Right. But of the Dr. Hooves, excluding Penny because Penny is banned, arguably the most impactful one is Time Loop, which is rather infamous for other reasons. But what this does is it says, great, you can just go and whistle up one of those basically at the drop of a hat and then pay 2 AT, the same cost that it would have taken to play it, and get an incredibly valuable piece.
Sure. Let's take a deck that likes running Dr. Hooves Time Loop, like, say, Chaos Control. And let's take a deck that likes discarding its own cards, like, say, Harmony Chaos Control. So, turn 1, I'm going to play the Clever Girl, and then you're going to play a friend,
Cloud
and I'm going
Chaser.
to discard a Dr. Hooves, and I'm going to banish half your hand, and then I'm going to get a Time Loop out of my deck. Into play.
Sounds amazing.
Frightened, mind, but
Frightened, sure.
seems good.
Still, living the dream. That is the magical Christmas time. Only 2 cards. So,
Seems good.
Yeah, don't count Hooves out yet. He's still got a few regenerations left in him.
Move on to some orange cards.
Mm-hmm.
Farm Formare. I remember when this promo came out.
I remember selling this promo to a vendor.
This was a highly coveted card for a long time because it was only available through essentially attending events.
Yeah, if you attended
during-
cons.
It was what was that? Equestrian Odysseys when this was reprinted as a fixed card?
No, AD.
AD, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, it was the AD theme deck. It was printed alongside the Granny Smith as the only other fixed card in there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't think there are any gameplay exclusive promos anymore. I think
No.
they finally printed them all.
After Equestrian, or starting with Equestrian Odysseys.
Yeah, because we got the CMC mains, or the
Right.
not mains, but 444s.
Yeah.
Yes, and then those all became, or all of the promos were variants of existing cards.
Which
So
I
why
like
is
much better, but
So why is Farm Formare on this list?
Farm Formare is on this list because she is still one of the only ways to go digging for an arbitrary resource.
yeah, we have no resource generic resource tutor.
Right. We've got accessory tutors, but that's not the same.
And I'm going to be honest here, Orange is pretty far up there as far as good, impactful resources.
Varmint Barricade, Desert Road, Appaloosa, Clipped Wings,
Wings.
Pile of Presents. I mean, anyone can run Pile, but what was the other one? Out of Action.
Oh yeah, just on and on and on.
So
And yeah, and the ability to go digging for resources is kind of important for some decks, especially if you happen to be running, say, Mod.
yeah,
And this is still one of the best ways to do that.
sure. And if you're running Mod, then you're probably farming. And if you're farming, then you're probably going to be flipping Troublemakers. And if you're flipping against Troublemakers, you're probably going to want extra flips through, like, the Carbo Loader. And hey, look, this thing is an Earth Pony. And it's also stubborn.
Huh, how about that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Oh.
most mod farm decks ran this.
Oh, the fact that it's a 3-power friend with Stubborn also makes Muffin Mare very happy.
Yes, it does.
So, yeah. Good card.
Very good card.
So
Alright.
up
Alright.
next,
Now,
Is
as
this-
promised, number 8 will shock you. So before we actually go into here, the script for this has several cards striked out. Applejack, Ambassador of Onity. Yeah, you saw that one coming. Whatever. F-Stop Muckraker. Oh wait, he's banned. So we ended up having to go with Weathermare Shocking. We told you number 8 would shock you.
It shocked you.
yeah. So
See, it's a pun.
we have I guess the closest thing we have is Party Mare in flavor.
Yes. And really the entire reason that this card is included in here, one, because her subtitle is shocking. Two, you'll notice the presence of a wonderful little word in her game text, random. Poppy.
Poppy.
I'm done. I got the Poppy.
You got the Poppy.
Yeah, Poppy.
I mean, you would absolutely run this card in Poppy.
Yeah.
It'd be on the list of things to consider. Would definitely be on the list of things to consider.
You definitely ran this in the pre-release for AD.
Yeah, you did.
Up next, we've got Iron Will, Attack the Day. So in core, we do have Trixie, the Troublemaker, which is, I think it's friends here losing can't have abilities.
Uh-huh.
But I think that's the closest. Just a general hey, if you move up here, you can't do anything. I don't think we have.
And once again, Orange is showing us friends that are more than cost efficient and have stubborn.
Yoink.
And by the way, have really good abilities on them. So
What-
go ahead.
Was Yoink from CG or AD or
It was from Crystal Games, I believe.
Yeah.
CG? Yeah.
Yes.
This
Iron
card
Will
got
did get
yoinked a lot.
Yes, it did.
Not as much as Carpaloader, though.
No, Carpaloader also got yoinked. But Iron Will is a great way to just kind of shut off abilities and also make judges lose their minds when trying to figure out how this card interacted with Chrissy before the rules clarified it.
It's great until they interplay simultaneously.
Oh, no, we're not even going to get into that one. That's still a situation I don't want to resolve.
Nope. So we're just going to move on to the next card.
Nope.
Lasso Jack. One of the few ways to deal with Applejack.
Surprise, it's in orange and it's also Applejack.
Spike does not look pleased here.
So if you want to look at some of these cards from Absolute Discord and then compare them to things that are core legal and beyond, one thing that you will notice is basically all the cards from AD prior had one line of text, even if that text technically did multiple things.
Yes.
This was important because it meant that if that text was a modifier, that modifier then existed independent of the card itself, if it was like a when this card enters play.
So this is important, especially in the context of our previous card, where if Lasso-Jack loses her abilities, it doesn't matter, because that was a trigger and the entire thing exists independent of what her current game text says.
Right.
As long as the card hasn't been frightened or bounced or whatever. Although if you bounce it, whatever.
Correct. Yeah, it can't be frightened because that makes it a new card. And obviously if it's bounced or dismissed, it's not in play anymore. But if it loses abilities, if your opponent uses Mod Pie, Camo, or Clipped Wings, or if it's up there at an Iron Will, it doesn't matter.
Because whatever you chose, it's still permanently exhausted, essentially.
Yep.
So next is one of my favorite cards.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is way up there for you.
DJ Pwn 3, Everpony Shuffling.
Did somebody say pile?
I heard pile.
Pile.
I think...
So...
go for it.
We've actually been looking a bit for ways to deal with chaos control and shuffling decks, and it actually turns out in core there are not a lot of ways to shuffle your opponent's deck. I think we have one.
Correct. We have one.
Festival Caterer? No.
Sunset Festival.
Sunset Festival. Festival Caterer is something else. But yeah. Or you can just play this.
Yeah. And this is amazing. Not only is it a combo or part of a combo win condition, but it's also great hand hatred for your opponent. Hey, whatever that your carefully curated collection of cards in your hand is, just go ahead and shuffle those into your deck.
Draw some new ones.
And shuffle your deck too, by the way. So all of the stuff on the top and bottom, forget it. Just go ahead and rip up your notes.
Yeah.
Seems good.
And that always was one of the reasons Pile worked, was because as soon as you got your first one off, all of a sudden your opponent is in a not, they could be in a good state, but generally it's not a great state.
Yeah, typically speaking, back in those days, you would have more than 4 cards in your hand. Because a lot of people were running DJ.
Now you only have 4, and they're not the ones that you well, you're not meticulous then, but
that you've been sitting on for the whole game going, I'm just waiting to slam this down.
Yeah.
And then you lost it.
Yep. So DJ is... she's left her mark.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
speaking of leaving marks...
DJ. Oh, this card was so fun. Also in Pile. This is just a problem wipe. We don't have any dismiss everything here in core.
No, we do not. We have
Yeah.
Fright and everything here.
Yeah, I think Princess Twilight Pony Pirate's the closest we've got.
Yep.
Yeah, for the Frighten. But yeah, no, this was great. It's just like, I play DJ. I play rock, paper, scissors, shoot against your really big thing that I want to get rid of. And guess what? It's going away.
And regardless of whether I win or lose this, I win.
Correct. You want to talk about making a catch-22? This is the way to do it. Best case scenario for you is I win. Worst case scenario for you is you win.
And either
Oh
way,
no, you dismissed it.
yeah, go ahead and belly flop this. I'm totally fine with that.
Side note, do not try to belly flop this yourself if you own it. That's not going to work. Retiring
Right.
is not dismissing.
Yes, it must be dismissed specifically.
However, this did also make it fun because once again, we have a friend whose power is higher than its cost. So, oh no, I'm in a face-off, yoink.
Oops. Yeah.
So,
Let's move on to a bit of a
yet another-
quieter pony.
What do you mean a bit of a quieter? Okay, so we really wanted to put this dude at number 8 because that just feels right. Because it totally doesn't shock you.
Yeah,
yeah.
Gyro. Search for
There-
events. How many generic or how many tutors do we even have in core? Because we have Pony Friend Forever.
Correct.
We have
Torch
some
Song.
rarity. Oh yeah, we do have Torch Song. We have some rarity card that looks for resources,
Looks for accessories.
accessories, and
We have
think
stuff
we
that
have-
looks for copies of this card with the same name.
And there's a couple of Lyra and Bonbon searches.
And we have a troublemaker tutor as well. So we have a decent number of tutors, but not
but-
events.
We don't have
Yeah.
a generic event tutor.
I still want my generic tutor. Just find the card. Never gonna happen.
No, never.
Yeah,
gonna
this makes like toolbox control is not a thing in core because
I-
you both don't have f-stop and you don't have gyro.
Yeah.
And
The close-
Gyro, of course, needs practically no introduction, but the ability to just whistle up a random event out of your deck at the essentially drop of a hat, invaluable.
For 1 AT, seems good. Combo players love this card. Everyone else
Next,
hates it.
a
I wasn't even going to go there.
proper Twilight, Ursa Vanquisher.
Hey, I see what you did there.
So we actually have similar
What's that?
abilities. In fact, very similar.
What, hold on. What's that space on her back and her sides?
It's her body,
What's
exactly
a
as
body?
it should be.
Oh my god. I see what you're doing.
It's her thorax.
Oh, wow.
I don't even-
I'm just going to go ahead and like drop the mic and walk off here.
Okay.
Wow.
So we have Burning Bridges, I think,
Yeah, Burning Bridges moves 2 opposing characters.
at main phase or immediate.
No, it's
It's
immediate.
immediate, yeah. So in some ways, it's better than this card. However, it's not repeatable, which is a huge part of this. It doesn't have Studious, although you almost never triggered Studious on Ursa Vanquisher.
And it also doesn't give you a 4-power body if you don't need it immediately.
Yeah.
It turns out having the single best control color back in the Premier Block era also have one of the most overvalued cards kind of shifted things a bit.
Yeah, it's just like this card is so weird to me considering everything else in Premiere. Like most things in Premiere, if it had a good ability, they were overcosted. And then they're just like, nah, Twilight can be 3
Twilight was OP, yo.
and do all the
She
school
is.
stuff.
She is OP.
Like I would if you did purple aggro, you would have run Twilight, which is just like why?
Because 3 cost 4 body, gain AT.
Yeah.
It's real good. Alright, let's keep going.
Cheerily, break it up. Oh, I so wish we had this card. I also wish we had the Fluttershy that skips troublemaker
Troublemaker
phases.
phases.
I want to rebuild Hide, Faint, Repeat in core.
Please no.
Yes, this is an incredibly valuable addition to any Chaos Control deck because it just says this face-off, it's done.
It's over. Nothing else happens. It's
Put your
too
stuff
late.
on the bottom. There's no consequences. Everything's still there.
Like you can't do any. Like the face-off is over. No more face-off timing. Like no.
It just shuts it down.
Yeah, this was instrumental in allowing the original Chaos Control deck to stand up against a lot of the farming decks that are out there. And in all honesty, it's probably a good thing that this card does not exist in core right now. Because I don't think core Chaos Control needs to have this effect yet.
Yeah. It
But
does.
man, do we want it.
What's next?
Minuet. So, most importantly, a way to trigger interplay effects at the beginning of your opponent's turn,
Yes, she of Tantabuse infamy.
repeatedly. Yeah.
Repeatedly, even.
I mean, but it happens before your opponent even gets priority.
Right, so this is great, one, because it's repeatable, and two, because of that precise timing. That is very difficult to do. Actually, it's impossible to do with anything else currently. It's very rare that you need that specific timing, but that's still pretty unique.
There are times you do. There are fewer of those times now.
This was also very interesting back before the rules change, where you would sometimes want to force the opponent to start a face-off so that you could get fresh problems. And this would help you by, if your opponent was confronting a problem, you could not confront it, and then at the beginning of their turn, start confronting it. And now your opponent has to stop confronting it if they don't want to have a face-off.
That's some shenanigans. And this, of course, was back before we had interesting things like immediate speed events.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything that could start doing unusual effects on the opponent's turn started getting really interesting. AD just kind of blew the gates open for a whole new generation of decks to come in. We've already seen a ton of cards from Absolute Discord, and we're going to see more.
Mm-hmm.
But next to Premier, I'd say that set was probably the most impactful of the Harmony exclusive sets.
Cough, Dragon Express, cough.
One deck.
What do we have next? Princess Luna Setting Moon. I think this is another one of those cards that doesn't need a ton of introduction just because everyone
this card was designed specifically for combo.
It really was.
It was printed alongside another card that
the two of
also
them together.
helped you combo. Yeah,
yeah, this is 100% a combo card, and oh, guess what? It comboed
a lot.
I'm surprised.
In fact, most recently, it comboed at Everfree.
Wait, is that part of
Yes.
104.3? Okay.
Yeah, it's how you gain the AT off of drawing with Matterhorn.
Yeah.
Yep.
I only ran that deck once.
So this is a lovely card that converts extra ready friends and extra draws into action tokens, which are oh so valuable.
But you could pay one to draw a card and then exhaust Luna to gain 18 set. Sounds good.
Oddly enough, there might be times when you actually did want to do that, but this mostly saw play in concert with some form of draw engine that gave you draws for much cheaper than one action token.
And
Especially
it gave you new friends, or ready friends, or...
Yes.
All kinds of madness. It's not even really a chore to break that card anymore. There's so many ways that it can combo, and many of those combos are expensive and easily disruptible, so it's not even that much of a threat.
Yeah, and her herself being 4 cost and 5 rec, there's a reason they did that.
Yep.
Because combo.
Yep.
Yeah. Up next. Another combo card. Refurbisher.
I mean, it mostly saw play in combo, but this is an effect that is, although it has a bunch of fairly close parallels in core, this is actually fairly unique.
Right. There's two particular aspects of this that help make it unique, one of which we already talked about with Lasso Jack. Note the 2 lines of text all in one single block. This is one ability that triggers when Coco enters play.
So this is actually even better than Lasso Jack because she no longer even needs to be in play in order to do that.
Yeah.
Correct. She can be dismissed, she can be retired, she can be frightened, she can lose her abilities, doesn't matter. You can still play whatever event she banished as though it was in your hand.
And it doesn't even count against your hand limit.
Yeah. Oh, and one other thing that's even more valuable, that event is completely untouchable because it's in the banish zone.
Yeah, you can't Destiny Drain it, can't reveal it from. Oh, it does. It is always revealed, so the opponent always knows that you have it as it because Bandit Zone is public information.
Right,
but
they can't do anything about it.
Can't grubber it. Yeah.
Right. I mean, they can harsh judge it.
Yeah.
That is true.
But that's about it. Additionally, that event does not go or remain banished when you play it. It goes right back to the discard pile. So if there were a way to make copies of Coco with effects like Changelings, like Chrysalis, like Coco and Chrissy's.
One second, press wrong button.
You all right there?
We're getting there.
You sure about that?
There it is. There it is.
We were having problems.
I push a talk key. I'm not used to it.
So yeah, Coco is spectacular, and also one of the only reasons why Apple Turnover functioned in Harmony as well.
Yeah, I think there is a replacement, but it's weird.
Yeah.
Alright, next card. RTO!
Truly,
and everyone was surprised.
Truly outrageous.
Collective gasp.
Was it Yoshi that did the that video? Or
Yes.
the GIF song or whatever it's called?
The
truly outrageous.
The little bonuses
amazing.
going in the background.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that was after PonyCon NYC, where in the top 8 had every deck had 3 of rarity.
Yep.
I don't know what else we have to say about it. It's if white aggro was in core, it would probably run this.
It would. Yeah, it's a darn shame that all those high bonus problems are around.
This is one of the few cards that from Premiere that was overcosted that actually saw play.
Mm-hmm.
It was overcosted in every possible meaning of the word. The prices on these things touched
80?
80.
I think they were over 100 at one point.
So she is kind of a significant card.
All right, next card.
Oh boy.
Trenderhoof.
The first of 2 Trenderhoofs, in fact.
And surprise, surprise, we're gonna show why they work together. So, card recursion. It's good. This is known to be true. But unicorns are typically expensive friends, or friends that have good persistent effects, and you're not always going to want those to leave play. So, Trenderhoof didn't really see a lot of play for quite some time, actually, after he came out. And then people realized, oh wait, traits can include other things too. If we can just give Trenderhoof some traits, all of a sudden...
There's one particular trait that seems to cause more trouble than all others.
And which trait would this be?
That trait would be unique.
Ah, so we need to give Trenderhoof unique.
Oh, hey,
Oh look, a Trenderhoof that gives Trenderhoof unique. I feel like this was intentional and just spotted by the designers a year before the rest of us.
Or something.
Or something.
Yeah, and this just causes so much fun in both senses of the word. Not only can you use this in a very bizarrely offensive manner where you can say, hey, all of those 3-ofs that you have out, you only get to keep one of those.
Or all those tokens you're playing in your Thorax Swarm deck.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can also say, hey, look, my Trenderhoof is online, and they say so. You say, so I'm gonna play pie eating contest.
And then they're like, oh. And then you see all
Oh.
their things, and
And
they're
then
like,
I'm
oh.
going to play it in multiplayer and remove everyone's board.
Yes, the one deck that can go into Villain Challenge, defeat not only the villains, but its teammates as well.
Fun times. All right, let's get out of this combo madness. Get out of here, Trenderhoof.
Forest
Oh,
Owl.
no. Yeah.
Hey, we have Celeste Owl from Premiere. Oh wait, that's actually in Premiere.
That's also in Premiere.
not in.
But
not
this
in
is giving everything at a problem for the low cost of 1 action token is not something that we have an equivalent to in Core. There
Well,
are some
like-
cards that do give power, but for the cost, this is kind of hard to beat.
No
And it's
cost, no wreck. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a critter.
My favorite thing with this will always be Free Owl, which I think we actually get to.
Yes. No,
Not
no,
tonight.
no,
Not today,
no spoilers. No spoilers, dear.
No spoilers.
But no spoilers. This also is notorious for showing up on the top of your deck exactly when you don't want it to.
What was it? It's the rule of 3. You flip one, play one, and then
Discard one to yellow.
Well, no, and then
right?
find the other one via Free Owl. Or discard to the CL first or something. Yeah.
You search one up, you draw one, and then you flip one. And
Yep.
then you are sad. I know a couple of people follow a canonical rule of any deck that runs these, just straight up replace them with a Troublemaker, preferably Nightmare Moon,
Because then you're at least flipping sevens.
because then you're at least flipping 7s. Correct.
But then you'll just draw all of them.
Of course.
That's how power works in this game, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Next
All right.
card. Flip and Slam. Yes, it was a part of that cycle of you can't do X. I think that went over multiple sets, or was it just one set?
Just AD.
Just AD.
This is a card that we still don't have an equivalent for. You can only confront one problem a turn. All those pesky dilemmas, this guy takes care of them.
Yeah, I kind of want to see this in Core. Like, it's a useful ability for Control to have.
Some kind of effect like this in Core.
Yeah. And this is an effect that every farming deck and every control deck just loves to have, because it sits there and says, you know what? How about you not DFO my Troublemakers away? How about you not play a dilemma and wreck my control setup? Just stay over there in your box and be a good pony.
Yeah. Toolbox Control really, really liked this card.
Especially I remember there were a few different control decks which had really easy ways to get rid of it when they wanted to DFO.
Yeah, so as Godot points out, Tyrik's Reign of Terror is a lovely answer to this. Yeah, okay, whatever, I'll confront this problem, frighten him. Oh look, now I can confront another problem. But you gotta burn a Tyrik's Reign of Terror to deal with it. And I think that's actually fairly unique amongst the dilemmas.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Although,
Nightmare Moon.
yeah, speaking of cards that say you can't do something, is this the only actual hard limit on draw?
No, there is also a Troublemaker, Double Diamond.
That is not, yes, but that is not a, that is conditional. Because it only affects players who have 4 or more cards in hand.
Yeah. So if you keep spending your cards, then you're fine. But yes, this is the only one that's just like hard no.
That's
Also, sorry, go for it.
Yeah, this just straight up says, no, you've drawn your 2 cards, you're done.
Now, how many times have people messed this up with Nightmare Moon? Answer, infinitely many times.
Yes.
Sorry,
So
with
many
the
times.
Nightmare Moon villain from
Correct.
Bringer.
Question: how many times have you won a game because you went second and played this after the opponent played a Nightmare Moon face down on turn 1?
A few.
That was great.
Yeah, this was the best time of this was at Everfree 2016.
2017.
It was
17.
really 2017. Wow.
That was the pie eating contest game. That was a mess.
That was great.
That was. I think we were both running DJ.
Yeah, that's something that we do need to mention here. It's not just a matter of, hey, I'm restricting your card draw. It's a matter of, I can play this card on turn 1 and stop DJ from flipping.
Somehow I managed to flip. I forget what happened in that game, or else I just didn't need to flip.
I don't think you needed to flip. You were running Soprano.
Yeah, I think we just did the math and was like, yeah, no, this works.
No shenanigans.
Nightmare
Yeah,
Moon
that's
won that game.
yes. Nightmare Moon absolutely won that entire tournament. But yeah, that's not something that we've seen, and admittedly, it's not a particularly fun effect for either player because, yikes.
It also has one of the most beautiful developer promos, though.
Oh yes, that is a very pretty card. Very pretty. All right.
We got a couple more we can get through tonight.
Now, let's talk about the best card.
Yeah, it's a pretty good card. Pretty good.
It's our queen, who of course is best queen.
So you start out in Carolite Knights playing some pile. Sorry, in CG playing some pile. And then AD comes around, you're like, you know what'd be cool? 6 penny lanes.
Then High Magic comes around and it's like 9 penny lanes.
And there are so many interesting things you can do with this card. Just copying stuff is great, but the thing that we love the most is she explicitly says that you can't copy a unique card, but fortunately, unique is a trait, and traits go away when cards are frightened. So the dumbest trick with her is to, for whatever reason, scare a unique friend, copy the unique friend while it's frightened, and then rally the unique friend. And now you've got twice the unique effect.
What tournament was that you won a game against me, GP, with that?
Recently.
Yeah.
Everfree or Babs or something.
It was Everfree or
this
Babs.
year. Yeah.
It was annoying. Like, I play a spoons. I know your cards cost +1.
Hey, I'm gonna copy spoons. Hey,
Oh,
your cards
frighten
cost
my
+2.
spoons.
Yeah.
That was dumb.
Yeah, it is a good thing that Chrissy is represented with holes in her legs because she is nothing but cheese.
Meh.
That was terrible.
I liked it. It's a good pun.
Well, I mean, Swiss cheese is the best kind of cheese. It's changeling cheese.
That's fair. All right.
See what's up next.
Couple more cards.
Breezies! But not just
All
this
six.
breezy.
All 6 of them.
This breezy.
No, not all 6 of them. Rainbow doesn't count.
And this breezy. And this breezy.
AJ Breezy is fine.
And this
Pinky-
breezy.
Pinky Breezy is fine.
I think that was all the breezies, yes.
Yes. Okay, all these breezies have a couple things in common. The most important one is that big fat 0 you see over there on the left-hand side.
The left-hand side. So that's the cost, right?
Yeah, that's the cost.
So
Hey,
you're telling me that it costs me nothing to play this card?
That
This
is
friend?
what I'm.
Well,
That is
it
what I'm
costs
telling
you a
you.
card. Oh wait, but what if playing cards gained you counters?
Oh man, that'd be good. Hey, what if playing cards let you like draw cards or gain AT?
That also seems good.
I think combining these leads to a bad place.
It's probably so. And thus
Says-
Dragon Express, and that's how Equestria was made.
Yeah, says the person who was just like, you know what, we need more infinite combos. Good job, Cheese.
Infinite recursion.
Whatever. Crawl under the bus anyway. Come on,
There is
I'm
a
trying to
reason we have
push
not
here.
seen any more 0 cost friends since then.
Yeah, and I think the
We-
only one of these that saw play outside of combo. I mean, I did see a few people running
Now, people
Fluttershy?
absolutely run.
Mhm.
No, they'll run Rarity Breezy too, because that
No, I was
fits
gonna
into.
say. Rarity was the main one. Rarity was huge.
Yeah.
Like Octavia, when you play a friend, another friend at the problem gains +2 power.
Free +2 power, and if you win the face-off, a free point. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
crazy.
And then Octavia Yellow was like, oh wait, Critter Choir. That's a
Ah.
critter. So I
So
can
it is.
bounce this with Fluttershy Breezy and then replay it?
Neat.
Alright. Let's do 3 more.
Really?
Last-
This is actually a pretty obvious place
I was
to
about to
cut
say.
here.
You want to cut right here?
I think it makes sense to cut right here,
I
because,
just showed the next card.
well, okay, spoilers.
Spoilers, shuffling decks is good. Spoilers, getting cards from your discard pile back is good. Spoilers, you put those together onto one card and it's probably pretty good.
And so, as I mentioned earlier, with all true clickbaity articles, you can't have the whole thing on one page. We have to make you click that button to get part 2.
Well, they don't have to click the button. But if they like what we do, and they want to click that button,
They should click that button.
they certainly could. It has been fun. All of these cards are very unique effects, like we stated, that you just can't find in Core. And so there's a lot to experiment with in Harmony. There's a lot of stuff that you can build, a lot of stuff you can play, and just a lot of effects that are out there that make the game completely different from what you see in Core. And we'll talk more about the rest of the cards on our list on our next stream. We will also be reviewing our patron-submitted decks on the next stream as well. For now, though, that will wrap up our discussion on this topic for today, and we would like to give a big shout out to all of our patrons on Patreon. Thank you so much for your regular support, and if you aren't currently a patron and you enjoy all the clickbait that we put out, please do consider donating. Doing so won't remove ads, but it will give you awesome rewards like the ability to
Oh my
polls
god!
to determine what future videos we produce, which you can see with a minimum of 5 clicks. A chance to share your own deck creations, to be reviewed live, and even the ability to challenge members of Sim or other patrons to feature duels using some wacky rules. If you have comments or questions that you'd like to send our way, or if you're just interested in hearing about what we're working on for the future, there are many ways you can stay in contact. We have our Patreon, as mentioned previously, but we also have a Facebook page, facebook.com/commentariasmagic. We're on Twitter at CIM_CCG. You can email us at commentariasmagicteam@gmail.com, and patrons at or above the $5 per month level get access to our Slack channel, where you can chat live with us any day, anytime. Our sleep schedules are pretty wacky. Hi to several of the new people to Slack. Hello, people. I'm waving at you. You can't see. Ara, spontaneously make Grandpa's animate and wave.
He's not
Yeah.
streaming.
No.
Okay,
Sorry. I'm not literally a unicorn.
that's fair. If you're looking to watch any of our previous videos, including tournament recordings, in such formats as Harmony, like what we're talking about, you can find them on our YouTube channel, which is linked in the sidebar, and please make sure to subscribe so we can have a channel URL that will be a little easier to remember. With all that said, though, thank you to each and every one of our viewers, both here now and watching this recording later. We are, as always, Commentary as Magic. I am, as always, Grandpaws.
Big cheese.
And I am the thing in Harmony that you will not believe.
Nice. And we will see you all for our next stream. Also,
Tune in next week to find out what it is.
no paywalls, probably.
Well, not next week.
Yes. We should actually mention that, though.
Ah, that's fair. Since we haven't quite left yet, we're going to adjust our stream schedule for a while here, to likely be streaming every other week instead of every week. As content picks up, we may have more frequent streams than that, but this gives us a chance to plan out content, stress, relief.
Stress a little less about things. Come up with more and even more awful clickbaity titles. No, I'm just kidding. We're probably we've been dreaming about doing this one for quite some time, and we finally did it.
Yeah. So we'll likely see you all in 2 weeks. If you're craving more Sunday stream content, there are a number of other streamers who are producing content for the MLPCCG. I suggest you check them out. You can usually find their announcements on Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Until then, see you, everybody.
Bye.
Every creature. You mean.
Every creature, gosh.